I have gotten 2 requests to look at NVIDIA and PELOTON from the latest video. So we'll jump ahead and take a look at these. Welcome to ELLIOTT WAVE Cafe. This is your host, the Cowboy, and the chart of the day. Let's go. So thank you guys for coming back here. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. I would appreciate if you give me a like there. It will help us, raise into rankings. If you like this video, this motivates me to continue making them. So let's jump over and take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, it's been a very strong performer. So let's jump and take a look at the counts. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this arrow and show you. We have a big impulse here, and it does still seems to be working itself to the upside. We have broken through the top of the channel. This is clearly third wave type price action that's been happening from these lows up to this high. We broke to the top of this channel, and the trend is higher, so we have to continue to respect this. Back in here, as it was starting, this is a log scale. It seems to have an impulse of the low with some corrections, impulse corrections, a little bit of a mess in here, but it should be pretty straightforward. So here is kind of what I have. If you want to stop the video and do your own count, that's fine. This should be an interesting one, and then just kind of compare with what I have and kind of see where this leads us. So here is the first one that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking that this was a wave one of the lows, and you've had a big flat here in the second wave. So this was an A, up in B, and then down in C. If I'm going to do a little bit of a fib measurement on the second wave, I think this one traveled to 78.6, retracement of that first wave one higher. So, pretty nice touch for a wave two. Then the next sequence that we have, it's going to be like this. So we're going to go one more time, then we have another wave one in here. So it's going to go in a 1, 2, and then we have a 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to apply a fib pullback to that second wave in hindsight here to the 618. Very interesting pullback as well for a second wave, so pretty nice and deep. And let's see if I have any other subdivision. So this means this is our primary degree, this is our intermediate degree of trend, and this kind of gives us the count. Then I'm going to go to the next one in here, which is the next degree, which is at the minor degree in here, so you can see that. So we go up in a wave one, we go in a 1, 2, 3. Let's see in here, let me go to a 2-week chart and just kind of analyze. I'm just kind of going through these lows. So yes, 1, 2, 3, triangle in 4, up in a small 5 in there for the wave 1, deep pullback in a second wave. Let's analyze that as well. That came into the 78.6 retracement as well. So you can see NVIDIA had pretty deep pullbacks, very nice. Then you go up in this larger third, which you can distinguish here pretty well in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, down in 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 3, down in 4 and 5. And sometimes you get a smaller fourth wave. That's the way it goes. This was a very, very sharp and directional wave. This was more of a, small and not as deep as the second, but the structure fits. You're going up in a fifth wave, and you finish wave one. Then you sell back here in a second wave into the 618. You're doing possibly a leading diagonal here in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave one at the minor degree of trend. You're pulling back in a second. Let's analyze that second wave pullback. That's going to be into the 618. Amazing how ELLIOTT WAVE works, and the fibs. So 1, 2, then another 1, 2 out of here, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see how this looks. So let's just go with the next subdivision. There you go. So you have another wave 1 here at the minute degree. So this is wave 1 in here, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Big impulse here. So remember, you have a 1, 2. Then you have another 1, 2. So you have 2 subdivisions at the primary and intermediate degree. Then you have another 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have 4 1, 2s in here, that lead to that larger explosion in that big third wave. So you have a third wave that I think completed back in there. Let's analyze how far that traveled. So that traveled just a little bit above the 2618 on this larger third wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a wave 3. Let's see what a wave 3 minor finished. So that wave, 423% of this wave 1. So that's a very, very extended third wave, very strong. But I think we're still missing something in here. So this looks like a triangle in an A, B, C, D, E. You go in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me see if I have that already saved in there. I'm going to pull this out of the way. And no, oh yeah, I do have it. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's check that second wave pullback. 2 into the 618 pullback. Very nice. So that's those two overlap over there a little bit. So 1, 2, 3 down in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a 15 to the 422%. So I think NVIDIA is probably going to take a little bit of a break now, and it's going to go into a fourth wave type price action. I think it might take a little while until this happens. Maybe, let me take a look on time. You know, maybe for the rest of the year and maybe even into next year, I think we could have a pretty choppy and not very, very directional price action in NVIDIA. If I'm wrong here and this third wave still subdivides, you can make one more high. But I think, you know, the larger part of this move has already been completed and maybe done. And we're going to be entering into a period of more, you know, more sideways and choppy price action. I still think this trend is higher. But as you're moving up into, let's say, 2025, you know, and further out in time in here, you're going to continue to grow. I mean, this is a $200 a share right now, and this can go back, can double from here in a fifth wave, then pull back, then you know, you're coming back to, again, 240, 250, then you push higher, and you can actually triple into a fifth wave, then come back again, and then continue to grow. So don't get fooled by this series, because this can still provide a lot of opportunities in NVIDIA. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to save this one into the ELLIOTT WAVE Cafe chart, and this is actually what is interesting. So this count here now goes into a repository file into the Dropbox, and all my members have access to this count right away onto their own chart. So if you have Motive Wave and you know, you sign up for it, then you have access to these charts, because and every time I make a modification here, a little notification is gonna appear on the screen that tells everybody that's linked to my charts that this charts have modified, and then you can save it and then do whatever work from there with it and all that. So that's a cool feature about that. That's just a quick plug for Motive Wave. Okay, let's jump over and take a look at the next one here. But before I do, guys, take a little bit of a break. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Okay, it's very important. Hit the like button as well, and subscribe. And is there a like button or just a thumbs up? I think it's just a thumbs up. I think the like is on Twitter, but anyway, just you know, try to subscribe and you know, share this video around so more people can see it. You know, give us a try into the program. Come and visit us and trade with us up there as well. So let's jump over to Peloton. So Peloton, it's been a mess. You know, very, very strong performer, obviously, for the pandemic in here. It went from, you know, what is this, $18 a share up to $170 a share. So just a huge, you know, let's see in here, percentage. I mean, 850% rise. And here you are coming back to the lows with about an 80% decline. So it's been a sweetheart, you know, quite a ride here, and you know, it probably broke a lot of hearts as it was kind of breaking out of here. I was, you know, long a little bit in here. I got out of the spike when they came on those news, you know, broke even on the stock, and I'm not touching it at the moment. But it is definitely an interesting decline. You know, I don't know exactly how much more power it's going to have to start staging some kind of a rally from here. I think it's one of those things that they have to restructure and find out what's going to happen with their company, and you know, maybe do changes and fees. And I don't want to get into the fundamental data here, but you know, obviously they're not making too much money, they're losing money, and that's why the stock is performing the way it is. But I don't think you have a clear picture here in terms of a longer term outlook in Peloton. The most bullish count I could come up with is if this is a wave 1 of the lows, or a wave A, and this is a wave B, then you're going to go up higher here in a C. But I think it's a little bit of a stretch. We have to kind of take it one step at a time. The way that would look, it would be something like this. So you would go, I think I have this saved. No, it's actually in my alternate count. So there you go. It's in an A, B, and then possibly down in C. Obviously, you need to, not come really below this level in here. If you do, maybe some of the subdivisions are wrong, and I have a leading 1, 2, let's say 3, 4, and 5, or wave 4 is still forming, and you're still pushing lower a little bit. But I think you're definitely closer to the end than to the beginning of this decline. It should stabilize from here on out, and maybe stage some rallies of at least a move sideways in here. So it's probably going to bounce between 20 and back to 30, maybe stage an advance back to 35, something like that. But you can see the RSI back here, it's starting to move higher, right? So relative strength is telling us that we're running out of steam on the sellers here. Everybody that sold already did, and it's just people holding and trying to accumulate, and there's going to be a battle up into these levels. But basically, the RSI is telling you that it's diverging from price, so there could be some bounce coming. Now, if it's an ABC, then maybe this was a wave 1 and a wave 2, and Peloton is going to make bikes out of gold, and is going to give them to everybody for free, and this thing is going to rally to, I don't know, $1,000 a share. I couldn't tell you that. We'll take it one step at a time. I want to see impulse of these lows, and then maybe it's a tradable stock as it moves to the upside. For right now, we got to finish up this decline and then see what happens. But I'm not super. I know there's probably going to be something coming, but I'm not going to hold my breath, and it's going to be very, very aggressive. So remember, after you have a big sell-off like this, things kind of start slow. So going back to this count in here, let's take a look at the impulsive decline. I have it saved up in here. So just a nice wave 1, right? This is pretty clean, and you go in a 1, 2, large 3, 4, and 5 for the wave 1. Then you pull back in a wave 2, and then here is something interesting that it should, help, new Elliott wave people here learn and see kind of how leading diagonals look. So I'm going to go back and just go another one in here. So this is, I think this is intermediate here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So maybe we're still going to work ourselves into a fourth wave back here. But this is another 1, 2. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2. And that leads to the larger decline. You have a big acceleration gap in here that characteristic for a larger third wave that probably terminated back into these lows. Let's see this second wave pullback. All 2, 6, 1, 8, magic, beautiful, golden zone. Then you have another 1, 2. Now this one was a little bit shorter, I think, and it was only 38%. This tells you that the market is very, very strong. When we're not able to pull back that much, it's a signal that you could get something going. Obviously, when you saw that, maybe you thought, hey, maybe this is a fourth wave and a fifth, and then the markets just kind of crash lower. But here is the subdivisions of this wave 1. I think that is a leading diagonal. And it's right on there. You have a leading expanding diagonal in a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then a wave 5. Wave 5 is bigger than 3, wave 3 is bigger than 1, wave 2 is smaller than wave 4, and then you're crashing. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a crash lower. Now, one thing that kind of always, it's in the back of my mind is like, how much am I wrong in this fourth wave subdivisions? Is this wave 3 here, or it's kind of back here, right? Do we have a triangle information and an A, B, C, D, and some kind of an E wave in a descending triangle, contracting variety, and then with the push lower? I don't think it matters. I still think that, there is some weakness here. Again, just kind of short of everything finishing here, and this being a wave 1 and a deep wave 2 with a rally higher. That's kind of the only exception I would have to this, that possibly the C wave terminated here, let's say, and then you're already all of a sudden, going to rally higher. I think that's a long stretch, so I don't assign high probability to that. But I think overall, and this fourth wave here is kind of small for the entirety, so maybe there's going to be still a triangle forming in some kind of a, I don't know, A, B, C, D, E still sideways, followed by a fifth wave. So that's kind of where I'm at in here. I don't think it matters. I'm not going to try to find exactly the low in NVIDIA. I think the market will tell us. It will start to push higher. You will have a little bit of a base forming, and things will start to clear up. So I would not necessarily touch this. you know, at the moment, I think it's, you know, there might be strength to break lower still, you know, and you can come and take these lows and then, you know, break below 17 in a much, you know, final flush in here. And then, you know, then the markets will eventually recover, but it's in a pickle, this one, right? So this is kind of what I have for you guys. I hope this helped. Please don't forget again to subscribe and like. Share this video around. Come and visit me in the pro room, trade with me. We shorted CVX and we're enjoying some profits there. We've done some option trades as well on stocks. You know, we're long Bitcoin, taking a little bit of a hit today, but things, you know, we're looking pretty decent there for a while. I have all the entries, the stops, and you know, everything into the trading channel there where I present everything I do, and we follow you know, the performance of that of those calls as well. So come and visit me in the pro room. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.